Welcome to a very special open mic with Mike Calhoun. A special treat for you today, this Wednesday. And we're going to get to pick Mike's brain. I think
Well,
that's.
we're doing a couple things here. Look at Jacob. Jacob, give me a big smile, buddy.
There he
Jacob's my
is.
new
How
best
you
friend.
doing?
Jacob is Jacob's got something that I think is I call it the Uber of the skies. He likes to call it
Ooh.
Coach Air, but I call it the Uber of the skies. I just got off with the party I told you about, Jacob. So
Yeah.
they're reviewing it. They're doing their thing. Uh, you want to tell
Hey,
us
just
real
wait
quick?
until you get to a point where they get to see the product demonstration. It is exciting. It's super cool. Next gen deep tech, AI, fintech. It's fully functioning, running a transaction end to end, booking, wheels down events, opportunities to book, air taxis, private jets. It's awesome.
Bro, you know what I just saw? Hey,
Wow.
welcome, David, Paul. Paul, David, we're doing our first live stream, and we've got all the different screens set up here in the studio. So we're just muscling through whatever that first experience looks like. Most of it is really just a big tech run, and I felt like it would be an opportunity too to just have live conversations with all of you. But Jacob, back to the conversation with you, buddy. You know what I saw? I was looking at when I was kind of pitching your deal. I was looking at the latest personal air devices that are coming out, so that I could kind of illustrate how tangible and how real it is right around the corner. And on Star Wars, do you remember the things that looked like bikes that the paratroopers were riding through the woods?
Yeah.
It looked like a motorcycle, but it
Yeah.
had no wheels. So they actually have those now that are jet propulsion. They're literally, it looks like a motorcycle. There's no wings, there's no blades, nothing. It's jet propulsion out from the bottom. It looks like basically a jet ski, flying. It's wild. That that I could go for. Anyway, and it does like 120, 125 miles an hour. It's crazy. Anyway, Cheryl, good to see you
Hey,
on here. There we go. Greg Bird. Greg,
how's
dude, we
everybody
had some
doing?
good quality time on the plane
Oh yeah.
in the
Oh yeah.
airport, on the plane. We reworked the business plan a little bit. Todd, good to see you, buddy. Todd, introduce yourself real quick. Who referred you in? Name of your company. Just give us like a little 30 second pitch if you can.
I just got the email. I have no idea what this is.
Yeah,
Other
but
than
you're
I
under
went
fire now,
to,
bro. You're under
yeah, I
fire. You got
know.
to do it.
I went to the Board of Advisors group meeting in Lehi, Utah,
Okay.
2 or 3 weeks ago. My wife met you mostly. She chatted with you quite a bit when we were at the after party VIP event. You talked with her for quite a while. We're Esleo. You can see on the hat. We're building these outdoor rental spaces.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that actually. She was at the main event too in Utah, right?
She didn't
Or
make it to
just
the
the
main
evening
event,
one?
no. So she just came to the VIP dinner that night, just kind of to hang out there at that Flankers.
And she's a little taller.
A little taller, dark
Yeah, a
hair.
little
Yeah.
taller. Yeah, I remember her specifically. She was not that one. She was not at the main one. I thought it was somebody else at first, but I do remember her. She kind of slid into the evening session, and she seemed to have somebody else with her too. I think she brought somebody, didn't she?
No, I think you might be thinking of somebody else if it's not
Or she
her.
was connecting. She seemed to like be connecting and introducing a few people. She was not shy.
Then you probably are thinking of somebody else, not my wife,
Okay.
because my wife is fairly shy, but she gravitated to you, and for whatever reason, you guys chatted for
Hey,
quite a while there at the
maybe she
end.
opens up at the VIPs.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
never
I
know.
think so.
Well, good to have you here. So just tell everybody real quick exactly what that product is.
All right, so we're building commercially something we feel like should have been done a long time ago. We are building backyard rent by the hour spaces. So picture the dream backyard that you can get onto an app and reserve it and use it like it's your own space without having to
Oh,
build and
dude, this
maintain
is the
your own space.
pools. This is the
With
pools.
the pools,
It's the pools. Yeah.
pools, hot
This is
tubs, everything.
it took me a minute to get my head around this. Now I remember her. You're right. I was thinking of somebody else. We were talking in the hallway because it was kind of loud in the VIP, and she was telling me about how, from an Airbnb standpoint, you guys figured out how to take kind of the fun part of the house and lease it out and monetize it. I look at my pool all the time and I think I never used it. It's beautiful, but I never used the thing. I just don't know if I would want to like open it up for public. So there's got to be some real governance around that. What does a pool usually list for or rent for?
Okay, so to clarify, we were doing what you just said. We have a pool, we rented it, and we were bombarded. We just listed it on social media one time. We got about 5,000 to 6,000 requests to rent our backyard. We
Yeah.
were building a platform to do that Airbnb model. And what you just said hit us really hard is that it's really bad for our communities, really bad for our municipalities, right? Our neighborhoods. And most people don't want to go into somebody else's private backyard. So the shift from that is that we're actually building spaces with just yards on them. So imagine a location, a commercial spot that has 4 backyards, 4 pools, 4 hot tubs, 4 outdoor kitchens. Instead of you renting your backyard out, we're actually building them. Kind of think Top Golf, but instead of a little teeny booth
Okay.
to golf in, you're getting a whole bunch of backyard.
So where would be an ideal place to put basically a luxury pool that becomes a little bit of a backyard destination without having to have the front yard?
The concept especially proves really desired in high density areas, right? The modern day living is that more and more people are moving into high density homes, communities with no yards, apartments, townhomes, condominiums. We call them patio yard homes, right? There's a ton of that kind of stuff happening, like that Seattle type atmosphere, San Francisco type stuff. So anywhere where there's high density, that's what we're shifting towards and looking for.
Okay, beautiful. And then like, is it an investment opportunity? Does somebody own a pool?
That's kind of 2 combinations there. So yes, we have an investment opportunity. People are investing to help us build these locations. But then beyond that, each location has a number of members that they can purchase an ownership in that specific location. We're just building the first ones right now here in Utah, and then the plan is to expand all across the country.
Okay, do you want me to
But
show
you
you
can
how
have a
Board of Advisors
membership.
works?
What's
Do
that?
you want to have a little fun? Do you want to have a little fun? And I'll show you how Board of Advisors works.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. So
I
Todd,
appreciate you giving me all this time. I feel like, man, what an honor.
well, Todd, we're gonna do a case study here on you, because just with this is kind of a tech check. Like I said at the very beginning, we got the studio set up, all the different screens, the live streaming gear. It's pretty layered. The tech stack is pretty layered over there. So I said, guys, I just want to go live. I want to make this thing real, and then we'll start putting the protocol around the schedule and stuff. So I'm glad you're here today, though, because
Well, it's sexy as hell. I gotta say, it looks good. So well done.
Well, thank you. And sometimes it's just nice to kind of freestyle a little bit. You know what I mean? So Todd, I know you don't know everyone on the screen, but if you knew everyone, here's what we would do. Are you ready? And Imran, jot this down. We're gonna make a business deal for him right now.
Absolutely.
So we would get Cheryl first. So if Cheryl interviewed you and then told your story in the Board of Advisors magazine and probably every other major news outlet in the country, then what would happen is everyone would end up showing up at these backyard pool parties and that don't need a front yard. And you would end up needing to hire some people. So then you'd have to work with Dave Darnell. Now, Dave would end up getting some of the best event coordinators, lifeguards, and security in the country that they're so good, you wouldn't even have to manage them. They would manage themselves, right? And once you worked with them, maybe once or twice, they wouldn't even be part-time anymore. You would want to hire them full-time. Now that you have a full-time staff, though, you got to keep the business going, and you got to keep the influx of the customer base happening, right? How do you do that? You sign up with Mr. Clint Hostman. Clint ends up getting a little copy together, a couple emails, some text messages, maybe some landing pages. And before you know it, you have the internet opting in to see what these backyard pools with no front yards are all about, right? And then he even leaks the fact that you could own one, but you got to qualify, right? Right, Clint? The whole qualification thing. So now you have actual customers and you have buyers, which we could call investors. Once the chaos starts, you're going to have to launch a loyalty program because you don't want just a single occurrence. You want it to go on and on and on and on. But once it goes on and on and on and on, you got to give them some rewards. But these aren't regular rewards. You got to get with Paul Madamo because Paul is going to give you the ability to have them earn cash rewards for every cannonball in every pool that ever happens, whether they dive or thrive, shallow end, deep end. Paul has probably the most cutting edge cash reward system. They could go literally from one backyard pool to the next backyard pool, earn rewards on one backyard pool, and go spend it at the next backyard pool. Right, Paul? But,
Yep,
but
that
Paul,
would
what are they
work.
buying? What are they buying? They're not buying the pool. They're buying spicy margaritas.
Yes,
That's
true.
what makes the cookout and the backyard experience the whole backyard experience. But then the problem is we're having such a good time, you can't drink a spicy margarita out of a regular cup or can. It's got to be drank out of a baseball bat. Chris, can I see that baseball bat? That baseball bat mug? This is how you now. Chris invented and has launched and sold probably 60, 70 million baseball bat beer mugs, but they're not just for beer. They're for everything. He has them for wine, spicy margaritas, and if you're not into any of that, you can just do sparkling water. But these are also, they don't break. There's no glass. You're not there. So we don't even have to have insurance at the level that you would think. We get to cut the corners and keep it an efficient, profitable model. And quite frankly, when you're done, you just keep that baseball bat in your hand because it's also a protection device. Literally, it's unbreakable. Now, the reason you're going to need the protection device is we're still perfecting the personal aircraft where Jacob has the tech perfected, but landing in the backyard, coming in from all across town, we've got these vertiports that are being installed that should probably be right next to each one of these pools. And the reason there's so many people, as a matter of fact, we sold so many tickets through Clint and we're earning so many rewards through Paul, they've got to be flown into the backyard because there's no parking out front anymore. And all down the street, it's taken up. So now we're vertiporting them in. And Jacob is the one that makes that happen. I call it the Uber of the air. He calls it Coach Air. But it's amazing. This is how we literally go from everyone wanting to buy their own personal jet to basically making air travel for the average or upper class individual that wants to do more business or live a more exciting life and get to more cities more often from their area possible. What city are you in, Todd?
I'm in Salt Lake.
And what's the next couple major cities within 2 hours?
Well, I'm Bountiful, Provo, where you were, Lehigh, Ogden. So all those cities are surrounding Salt
And
Lake.
it takes about how long to get to each one of those?
15, 30, 45 to an hour and 15.
What's the most desirable one you would go to more often if you could to shop or for pleasure, but you don't because you're not hooked up with Jacob?
Park City.
Park City. I'm glad you said that. That's the one I was thinking. So if you could go to Park City in 15 minutes and you didn't have to deal with the traffic and it was kind of exciting, maybe even for a date night, would you do it?
100%, especially if there was an
Even if it was a little bit expensive, maybe it was a couple $100 instead of maybe it's 500 or 1,000. Instead of taking the Uber, you take the vertiport. I mean, what's cooler than that, bro?
Now it's an experience.
Now, here's where it all comes together. But then we break it apart again. Greg has figured out a way to capture these experiences and then break them into what I like to call probably one of the best marketing gimmicks. Gimmick is a compliment, Greg. He uses do you know what a puzzle is?
Yeah, you mean like a puzzle like you do on a tabletop or something
See,
else?
that's the genius part of it. It's something everybody knows what it is and they know how it works, and there's no explanation to the rules. But what he's done is he's gamified it to where anybody can create a puzzle for any reason with any image, whether you design it or whether you generate it. But you can create collaboration and engagement around and challenges around sending each other puzzles for certain reasons. It could be educational. I mean, you could meet a girl and flirt with her by sending her a puzzle, and she feels the challenge to put it together to understand what the message is. It's wild. So Todd, you've got to talk to Greg. But once you put the puzzle together, the puzzle is worth what? 1,000 words. Isn't that what the saying is? Amron, is that the saying?
Yes, it is. A picture is worth 1,000 words. A puzzle,
Yeah,
probably
so
maybe
you know
even
where
more.
1,000 words happen. 1,000 words happen. Where does 1,000 words happen, Bob Gilpatrick? It happens on a podcast. Bob has built one of the coolest supplement businesses in the country he calls it Boomers Forever Young. Showed us some stuff. You guys know what peptides are? Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, Bob has been a pioneer in the industry of supplements, health, medicine, mitochondria, all the fancy stuff. He'll use some words on here you'll go have to look up. Bob, do it. Show him some words, the big ones.
Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
How you
okay?
doing, Bob? Bob, what's the coolest product you have right now?
Well, we have the world's first ever epigenetic reprogrammers. The one that people would be most interested in is called Myotrol, and it restores a person's ability to gain muscle weight, produce energy, and regenerate their brain as if they were 20 years old again. So we have 80-year-olds that are now doing that.
And Bob, I'm glad you brought that up because that's exactly what I want to take before I go to Todd's backyard pool party, because I want the energy, I want the muscle, I want to be looking good, I want to be feeling good, because you never know who you're going to meet, right? And you always want to be able to take your shirt off and, flex a little bit. So Bob, if I didn't know you, I would never be able to fit in to this entire crew here, and I would never be able to go to the pool party. But the problem is, Bob, I can't manage all of this. There's no way to do it. There's got to be some sort of chief of AI aspect to put all the pieces of the puzzle together on a regular basis to get everybody to where they need to be, to snap that moment in time picture that then breaks apart into the puzzle and becomes the challenge. And you've got to talk to, Todd, you got to talk to Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel Feldman right here, chief of AI.
Well, yeah.
Have you implemented any AI into your pool parties?
Not yet. That's the next step. As we're developing our app and our website, we want to incorporate AI for sure.
You mean the total monitoring system that manages from a distance to make sure that there's no encroachment of a chaperone that ruins the party, but there's always a chaperone? Is that what you're talking about? Because that's what Daniel does.
Yeah.
Right?
It's awesome.
Do you see how the story comes together? Do you see why really Cheryl is great, but we do kind of make it easy for Cheryl?
Easier.
Easier. Cheryl leverages those relationships like nobody's business. Hey, who's this down here? I've got somebody's face covered up. Let me clear the Brian McDermott. Dude, it couldn't come together any better. Brian has the world's greatest rocking chair. It's here's the problem you're going to have, Todd. You're not going to be able to get rid of the people. That's going to be the problem. You're going to have to hire somebody. Once you have these rocking chairs sitting out by the pool that are obviously being monitored by the AI, so there's no chaperones and everybody's looking good because of Bob. The problem is getting rid of them. But if you get rid of them, they may not be able to stay there, but they don't have to go home. Where are they going to go, Rashad? They're going to go to their tiny home. You know why? Because it's their party home. It's that destination between the pool party and the regular home, because you don't want to make a mess at the regular home. But at the party home, You can make as big as a mess as you want in the tiny home because it's still never too big to clean up pretty quickly. And it's a great place to hang out and crash. It's like a vacation away from home. You want to tell us real quick, Rashad, about the little tiny home? You got a picture right here in your background. Tell us about that real quick.
Yeah, so this is 42 tiny homes. And to your point, what you just said, Mike, about the rocking chairs, we got spaces for it. We got terraces, wraparound porches, decks. So that'll be perfect for it. But we got the tiny home community. We're closing on a $6 to $7 million construction loan right now. And just looking to push the deal through.
So how much does one of those go for?
It's three different models. It's $230K for the smaller unit. For the mid-size unit, it's about $285, and then for the larger unit, it's $310, and they all appraise for that amount. So we got to pre-appraise.
I mean, you could create. I saw something actually in an article recently where it was kind of like a camping environment in a sense, but it had more of a communal aspect to it, and they had fire pits and stuff in the middle. So it might have 6 kind of units, and these were
So
like
we're
tree
actually-
houses.
We're planning to
Yeah.
build the future plans are to have about 12 tiny homes around each one of our SLEOs. So when you travel across the country, you have your private yard and you have your tiny home you can use.
What's your brand again, Rashad?
Post Pro Capital.
No, I mean of the that I know the actual tiny home units.
Oh, Valentina Estates.
Valentina, it almost sounds like it would be where you find the ultimate pool party.
Right.
With the
and
right
it's-
rocking chairs and obviously the right spicy margaritas and the right baseball bat beer mugs. But like that would be a good little joint venture, Todd. See how this works? See how it all
100%.
threads together?
With
But
a
Todd-
vertiport,
well-
here that you can book
Actually,
flights.
the vertiport is the destination mechanism that makes it all possible for everyone. You know, some of these people might not even be able to get to the destination, especially if you pick something exotic up in the mountains. They're going to have a vertiport. Now, Todd, this is what you didn't expect, but you should expect. When you start entangling with these characters, and I'll get to Richard Kinney in a minute. We're going to need a whole data center to process that one. But you'll become so successful that you're going to end up on like not just mainstream media with Cheryl, but you're going to end up on some of the most exclusive podcasts in the country. Okay. And there's a way to do it. There's a guide. The guy's name is Dylan England. Dylan, you don't just get on a podcast and start rambling, Todd. I've seen a couple of your podcasts. Okay. I wanted to call you up a little bit. I wanted to say, look, you did great because you were excited. You were excited, but Dylan's got an art to it. And the art is by the time you get done with that podcast, you have people buying these pools in these special locations with vertiports and these tiny homes, because the way Dylan creates the conversation, it makes you the only logical choice moving forward. Dylan, how long you been doing the podcast?
Almost 4 years now.
4 years. Now you just built your own studios.
Yep.
Can you show it to us real quick?
Yeah, the lights aren't on, but it's back there.
What kind of people or what kind of personalities, that's what you call, in your world, they're called personalities, right? What
Yeah.
kind of personalities are coming through the studio?
We have Jeff Hoffman, who started Priceline.com. That's coming. We have Larry Namer from E Entertainment that started E Entertainment. And then we have like just local business owners too. So like anyone with a really cool story or product or whatever, they all come through. We've produced about 20 shows from here so far this week from different clients.
Who are you waiting to come through the studios?
Just cool ass people.
What? No. Who?
Who?
Go along with me, Dylan.
I'm coming. I'm with you. I mean,
I'm trying to
Mike?
invite myself. I'm
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to invite
Mike
myself. Todd, help him
Calhoun.
out, baby. Help him out, Todd.
yeah, I said cool ass people. That's by definition
There
you.
you go. There you go.
Yeah, that was my descriptor of you, Mike.
And you have a little event center there as well, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Downstairs.
cool. And you did a grand opening. How many people came to the grand opening?
140.
Yeah, it was good. I saw some pictures. It seemed packed, like it was the right amount
Oh,
of
yeah.
people for the space.
Shoulder to shoulder, butt to butt.
Yeah. So Todd, are you feeling good about where you landed today?
Yeah, it's the future is bright. We're gonna build great things with great people, it sounds like.
Well, we're not done yet because Richard Kinney, not only has Richard Kinney been in the appraisal business and the real estate business for what, 25, 27 years? How long is it, Richard?
Our family's been in it for 40 years. I've been in it for over a
40
decade.
years. God. They built the greatest appraisal platform, AI based, that will analyze. Actually, you know what? Where did you go? Oh, Richard, tell
I'm
them
here.
why is
Yeah.
it so different? Because you're able to generate an appraisal that is signature or approval ready by a certified appraisal professional. It doesn't sign off on it, but it does it so well. It's at that level, right? Tell everybody a little bit about
Correct.
what you created.
We have years of knowledge at high levels of the industry and the analysis, and realized that there has to be a better, more efficient way to get these things written up and done, especially for people who may not want a full appraisal out the gate, but just want to know what the value of a commercial property is without having to pay for a full appraisal. So we took that entire process that takes 3, 4, 5 days and built it down to about 5 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes, and you get the full, looks like an appraisal, and then we can up comps, maps, zoning, all the information that you would normally see in a commercial appraisal, just without the signature. We boiled it down to have that delivered in 5 minutes, and then update it to an appraisal with a click of a button, and it takes us about 10 minutes to review it and sign it.
So you're like the Intel inside of Zillow, but for say commercial property or LoopNet. Like you'd be the Intel inside on giving LoopNet real numbers on all of their properties at the click of a button, so that you're basically helping the commercial real estate investor qualify their time. What is one of those costs?
Yeah, so we actually got an agreement in place yesterday with Keller Williams. So we charge between 150 and 250 bucks for the valuation, and we can get you a signed appraisal by an MAI appraiser for less than $1,000.
Yeah, you can't even go out. You can't even go walk
3
the
days.
property for that.
Yeah. And
That's
we
crazy.
actually we got an agreement in place yesterday with Keller Williams Commercial to roll it out to 6 states, to their brokerages in 6 states, and then by the end of September we'll be nationwide with Keller Williams Commercial.
And I think a lot of those properties deserve a passive income generating pool experience, and Todd can help you out with that. Now, I saw somebody. Oh, hey,
Love it.
Mr. Adirondack, Brian McDermott. At the last meeting or the meeting before, I was kind of kidding, but not kidding, and I was a little excited or enthusiastic about the Adirondack in combination with the rocking chair. Did you just say you have it coming? You have an Adirondack coming?
We do indeed. We on the next
But
boat that
not-
arrives in
Not
early
any
September.
Adirondack. It's the world's finest
The world's finest.
Adirondack.
Yep.
Tell me about this. Tell everybody about this.
Well, it's made out
I
of the
have to
same
get this on
wood
your
that,
podcast, Dylan.
that the world's finest rocking chair is, the Rubinia wood, which is the hardest, most durable, and best wood to make furniture out of. It is custom designed, so it sits better, and it's got that great armrest for the baseball mugs.
For the baseball. Oh, it has a little hole for the baseball mugs?
Yeah, it's got a nice flat armrest that the mug can just sit right on.
Interesting. You could.
Dude, what
actually
if
have
you
a
put
little-
in a cutout for a cup holder or a wine glass?
You could have a perforation there, so if they wanted to cut it up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, real quick, Imran, we're gonna do a mid convo tech check because I saw it's 3:30 on the button. So on YouTube, so we're actually live on YouTube right now. Is that correct?
Correct.
So can you put that link in the actual chat so everybody can see it? Because really, guys, what we're doing here is kind of a tech check on the live streaming installation here at the Board of Advisors Studios. If you can pop that in the chat, I'm going to look at it myself here and just, I want to see how that's playing out. And then are we open for comments? Are we able to see comments, or do we have that turned on or off? We open for comments.
That's a great question. Let me check into that. Yep.
Comments. Yeah, check into that. I just want to see if we're open for comments and if we're open to the public, because I want to see if the algorithm starts syndicate, because we're hitting a lot of key topics, keywords, and if the algorithm starts to syndicate or reach out and recommend, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, obviously
Definitely.
we've got to do this on a frequent and consistent basis, but I'm pretty happy with how things are playing out here. Did we miss anybody? Daniel, I think we got everybody tied into that. Greg, you guys want to do a speed round? I'll give you 30 to 40 seconds apiece to tell them your name, URL, the hottest thing you have going on, and how to get in touch with you, okay? We're going to start with you, Paul Mattimo, top left. Let's go.
Okay, Paul Massimo, co-founder of Shop Rewards, which is an instant cashback and travel rewards program. You can take a look at us from a B2B side at shopperapp.com, but we are getting ready to launch direct-to-consumer in late November, early December at shoprewards.com too.
Beautiful. Good man. And do you have a physical card?
No, it's all mobile wallet based
Okay.
and app based. The idea is that you don't need physical anything. When you're out shopping in the stores, you impulse buy and you just pull out your phone and you've already got it available there. Over 300 brands available for instant cashback, over 1 million hotels, 700 airlines, et cetera, for travel.
And you still have to be approved, right? So if they go download it and they do set up their account, then you'll approve them.
At the moment, yes, because we're B2B2C, but we're accelerating super fast towards your direct-to-consumer launch in late November. And at that point, then you just download the app and you'll be able to get in.
You know, your session at the last BA meeting was phenomenal. You got a lot of attention, a lot of input. Tell Todd how that works real quick.
Which part, sorry?
When we put you in front of the board, or you have your moment in front of the room. See, Todd's never experienced that. You know, I'm sorry, Todd, it took so long for people to recommend us to you. I'll have to get onto them later when you're not around. But Paul, tell them a little bit about the experience, you know, going before the board, and then how it's not really a presentation, but it's a collaboration, and you know, kind of what people get out of it, right? And then I'll move to Cheryl.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you go ahead of the board, there's 6 people up there out of the BA community that all have incredible experience in their different fields, and they listen to your few minutes pitch, and then ask some clarifying questions, and then give whatever advice, feedback, or potential for collaboration or potential for introductions. And kind of try and steer you in the right direction, or identify things that you may or may not have thought of in the route ahead. So there's always something in marketing that you haven't thought of, or someone's done much bigger things than you have already, and they're trying to give you shortcuts and give you great advice to get there faster.
Dude, everybody give him some love. That was phenomenal.
Right.
I hope we get the transcribe of that. That's our whole marketing page right there. Good job, Paul. You know what he didn't tell you though, Todd, was you're kind of in the hot seat. So have you ever hired a personal trainer, Todd? You're muted.
There I am, unmuted. Yes, I have, and it doesn't show. I need to do better, but I'm, you know.
But have you ever hired one that made you hurt?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't like them at the time, but you loved them later?
Yeah.
There is sometimes a little bit of that too, though, because when you get up there and you put your baby in front of everybody, you know, and we vow to tell the truth, right? Sometimes that tough love, it's not what you want at the time, but it's the best thing that can happen to you. So it's not always like a cheerleader session in the sense of, hey, you're doing great. It really gets down to brass tacks. So if you show up next quarter, I want you to be ready. I mean, people are going to start picking your pools apart. All right.
Okay.
Now, Cheryl,
Yes.
we'll move to you.
I
Give
am
us your
Cheryl
best.
Connor, Snap Connor Public Relations, High Strategy PR. That means lately what it really means most for a lot of the BA members is if we're doing great things and it's either not being seen or worse, being seen but not properly represented on the web, it's a big, big barrier. And we're working with a number of people on that kind of campaigns. As a couple of examples, Jeremy Worley and what he's doing with Victory Springs. Very, very exciting. But what he's doing in that whole sector of short-term rentals is even bigger. Syndicating the management, huge. So in a matter of weeks, getting all of that out there and bearing, everybody or most people have the 2 years ago, some intrepid reporter wrote something false about them and it lives on and on. So bearing those kind of things and informing AI and the search engines who you really are and why it's important is huge. And we're doing quite a bit of that right now.
Love it, Cheryl. I like to call it critical stakes PR,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I mean, when it matters, and everybody should have, I mean, once a quarter might be a little aggressive if we were to put it into the context of everybody, but at least twice a year, putting out something almost as if it is a quarterly report on your business, where things are going, what's coming up. I mean, it really works for you as a timeline stamp, right? Instead of, just throwing something out when you need something.
Right.
Being proactive, building that up and laying kind of those ground markers. And it's not that expensive to do. It's just that frequency and consistency. Do you recommend like once a quarter, or what is the strategy that might apply to everybody?
For something like we're doing with Jeremy and maybe doing with Jason Matthews as well, maybe for Dima also, once a quarter would be great. And the biggest piece in it is a really well thought through press release, but one that calls out to things. For example, great press placed and then cited and linked in the press release, in the context of your full story. I was laughing with Jason a little bit the other day because I just looked up Google before we've done anything. And there's that gnarly reporter who thankfully either left or was fired from her job 10 months ago, written 100 million hit pieces, like this thug stole homeowners' money when he backed out of an offer kind of thing. And then the next headline was BA Magazine's cover, How to Become a Real Estate Mogul.
That's wild. I can see
So
it
I had
now
to
in
laugh
New York
and I said,
Times.
yeah, that was great juxtaposition. So let's work on this.
That's awesome. That's all. So Jacob, New York Times, Uber of the air, Ballmare. Come on now. All right, Todd, I'll let you do it one more time. I gave you plenty of time to warm up. This should be good now. You're in the hot seat.
All right. So am I sharing the story again, what we're building? Is that understood?
30 to 40 seconds, just real quick. What's awesome in, that you're working on, best way to contact you, just so we know like who you are and you become
Here's what it
unforgettable.
is. Here's what it is. We are disruptors. We are building backyard private spaces for the modern way of living. As people's yards and private spaces are shrinking, they're sacrificing places to bring together family and friends. We're going to build those private spaces all across the country. We're going to incorporate things like incredible rocking chairs, Adirondack chairs, baseball bat mugs. We're going to put Airbnbs all around our spaces with tiny homes. We're going to build places that people can travel and still have private spaces to be with their family and friends.
Love it. And you should have an educational program. You need to talk to Jerry Conti. It could be called Pool Party Profits, and Jerry could show you how to run the entire short-term rental business, like from a biz op standpoint. They did a great job of that with Lux Home Pro, and they made a millions, as much as they made probably in the business, but it also brought them more business, turning them into kind of the bird dogs, in a sense, back to the brand. Greg Bird, my man.
Greg Bird of Peace Inc. We do software development.
What GB? GB, that's what Matthews calls you.
GB,
GB.
Bird.
And you had
And
another
then
nickname too, though. What was it? You told me on the plane, or you told me in the airport.
Bird. Most people call me Bird. GB.
Oh,
G
Bird.
Money.
Okay.
G Money.
The
is the other
bird is
one.
the word. All right. Give us the 30, 40 seconds on
Yeah.
what you're working on. Totally different, but very cool.
Yeah, software development. We do websites, web apps, mobile apps, high-end digital commercials for entities. We have also access to digital or to physical prints, art prints, canvas, metal frame, wall peel greeting cards, because we have the only jigsaw puzzle and word search app out in the industry where you can get art prints on the back end after your gameplay. So 4,000 images, 6 different gameplays. We're actually working on some other, thanks to Mike, giving me the last little click there. Working on some other gaming puzzle apps, potentially that could do rewards, be really friendly to rewards. But yeah, that's what we do.
Are
We're
you the
looking to-
mad puzzler behind the scenes?
the puzzler behind the scenes? I'm the mad everything behind the scenes right now.
Now,
Mhm.
tell them real quick what you used to do with the sports on the sports side.
Yeah, so I used to be assistant director of athletic medicine at USF, spent some time at Florida State as well. So I was over men's basketball. I'll just imagine all the medical, top to bottom. Also oversaw a bunch of other sports and other staff. So I did that for what, 20 years, almost 2 decades.
So you know all the pros?
A good, that's a good number. I'm gonna throw
Who's
everybody
the
out there, but-
coolest? Who's the coolest pro you think that
Oh
you
my
met?
goodness. You know what? It's gonna actually be probably outside the box, but it actually comes from track and field. Ngoni Makusha was one of my favorite athletes. Just he's from Zimbabwe, Olympic triple or long jumper. He jumps like 27 feet or something like that. Something crazy. But yeah, really neat. A lot of neat people you meet over the years. College level, Division 1, pros, Olympics. So it's been a fun ride. And last couple of years, I was doing that 85 to 100-hour weeks, and then on any other extra time that I had, I was building my business. So for the last year
Beautiful.
now, I've been running the business full time.
And you build apps for people too.
Yeah, we
correct?
build apps for others.
Yeah.
We build apps, websites, wherever it is. It doesn't have to be gaming. We can build anything for anyone. I've got a lot of resources.
Well,
some
if you have a
AI
couple
integration.
websites that you've built
Yeah,
that you're really proud of, pop them in there. Anything you
will
want to
do.
show off links wise, I'll give you the permission. Pop it in there
All
so we
right.
can, poke around on it. Now,
Yep.
Jacob, what did Jacob do? Did Jacob just go hiding from me when it became his turn? Oh, I was going to say, that's
Yeah,
not like
I was
Jacob. He
hiding.
must have
I
had
was
an investor
rescheduling
calling.
something.
I was going to say, there was probably an investor calling, right? Now, Jacob,
Yeah.
Uber of the Air. What? Tell us about Coach Air, 30, 40, maybe 50 seconds. Let's get it.
Yeah. We've got an aviation intelligence platform that makes availability and transportations accessible in the air. So whether it's a private aircraft or advanced air mobility aircraft, an air taxi, right? We're taking mobile apps in the brand of an operator, a broker, an FBO, airport, or vertiport, and we're driving the safety infrastructure behind that. So everybody that wants to fly can verify before they fly, do so safely in the brands of people that they trust out of their communities.
So you make personal air travel possible.
Absolutely.
I love it. Now, do you have that one pager that I asked you to put together? There was like 3 or 4 one pagers, but I think what is most impressive is who you're working with. Like, you're working with some of the largest players in the industry here in the state of Florida and nationally, FDOT and so forth. If you have that, I think that would be wildly interesting. Not that everybody understands the aviation industry at the level you do, but I think it would be wildly interesting just for people to be able to see, right down to Cheryl Snap Connor, who you're in talks with. Okay. Now, well, you just changed up my order there. What do we got going on here? Let me fix my screen. Who's next here? I think David is next based on the way I see the screen now. Mr. Darnell. Darnell.
Yes, sir.
Wait, hold on. No, you have a phrase. I'm not going to say it as good as you. You said it at the meeting. I put badasses on your team. What did you say?
We slang killers.
You sling killers. That's what you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
All right. And I can attest, you absolutely do. Tell them exactly what you really do, because you're not just a staffing company. You are somebody that puts the most coveted players in the industry on teams. When somebody hires you, you actually help build those teams, and you aggregate these players all across the country to help build some of the most powerful teams. Put it in your words.
Yeah. So just a few quick things. One is we might rethink We Sling Killers, because we talked to a high level construction executive last week or the week prior that has been charged with murder. So we're probably going to revisit that that little tagline that we've been throwing around kind of loosely here recently. We'll see. Apparently he wasn't charged.
Well,
so
we
fun
know
fact.
what you meant. We know what you meant.
Yeah. No, just weird timing on that. Two is, if you've ever seen 8 Mile and how Eminem freestyles at the end, that's exactly what you did at the beginning of this call. And the fact that you didn't get a ton of love for that is crazy. So well done, Mike. And then lastly, you missed a real opportunity to call this open mic. So I hope you rethink that as well. Open
I thought
mic.
that's what we called it.
I know, but like it open mic. Your name is Mike. You know what I'm saying? There's
I
just
thought
a
that's
missed.
what they. I swear that's what they.
We're dialing that in. We're getting that
Okay.
dialed in. But
My man.
David, you're
All right.
spot on.
All right, my man.
I
Thank you.
like the way you think.
Yeah. So
The email
yeah.
said
So
it. I saw it.
okay, it
It was
did.
good.
All right. Good. Okay. Good. Thank
Okay,
you,
we're
Cheryl.
living up to
I'm glad that
David's
was.
standards, guys. We passed.
Thank you. It's about time. Jeez. No, so that's what we do, right? We specialize in the placement of highly skilled talent. We don't do temps. We don't do staffing per se. It's more talent consulting, high level recruiting across multiple verticals. We're industry agnostic. We have clients that range in 5 million up to 2 billion plus in revenue. We can also deploy managed services, BPO, RPO, a multitude of different things. Yeah, and that's it, man. Highly skilled stuff is what we do. We specialize in that space, finding killers. I just haven't found a new word for that yet.
Yeah, I was on with somebody probably everybody would recognize if I said their name this week, and building a highly qualified team because of AI. I think the demand for more highly qualified individuals on the team and creating more potent, compressed, whether it's executive layer or not, just the workforce aspect of things is changing, and the way we work is changing. And that higher level, I mean, even when you look at, say, we'll make it super simple, the certified electricians, they were 80, 90,000, maybe 100 a year. And they're like $250,000 now, because it's a highly skilled job, and that industry is obviously growing because data centers and so forth. But it's a job AI can't do yet, right? And then there are seats or positions on your team that AI just can't do, because it has to create a relationship with a human, and still there's that trust aspect with a human and that responsibility aspect with a human, right? So if I, for example, wanted to get the best, media outlets, I could obviously probably hire anything on the internet. But if I wanted to just give it to Cheryl, and I know she's using AI, my trust is with Cheryl. So I think you're I think traditionally you're in a very changing model, right? Like a lot of people are trying to figure out staffing right now, especially from the VA standpoint. I think you have figured out where it's going to land. Everything doesn't go away, and some parts of it actually elevate. And where you're seeing where you're focused, I think, is the elevated part. Those positions are going to get higher performance pay, and I think they're also going to get more eyeballs on them, from a competitive standpoint, which pushes, kind of short squeezes that pay up. So I think you're in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah. Well, we're heavily AI enabled too. Aren't going anywhere for a long time. People are going to need to be a part of businesses for a very long time. We use AI heavily. We have proprietary stuff that we built in house. We have off the shelf AI stuff that we use, and we kind of bring that full circle. And then we use AI to just get us to conversations faster, right? So, but we're not closing deals without human interaction, and that's not exclusive to our space. I think that's going to
Yeah.
be across the board.
Well, is that the V in the background?
Yeah, it's the V.
So you have a glass door. Where are you? Where are you?
I'm in my
That's
office,
pretty
man.
cool.
Yeah, it's real too. Everybody's like, your background looks fake. No, it's real.
That does look awesome.
Yeah.
So where did I show up? I showed up somewhere, and you just scooped me up in the airport. What city was that?
Atlanta?
Oh yeah, we were in Atlanta. We went to that Jetson Capital thing.
Yeah.
So
it was hot, wasn't it, Rashad? It was hot.
how many horsepower is that?
Almost 700.
Yeah, it was
Yeah. I've never been in that big of a vehicle that instantaneously felt like a go-kart. Like it moves.
It's a lot of
It's
fun.
crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
of fun.
that was a weird experience. Anyway, hey man, thank you for that. Thank you for picking me up, and thank you for letting us know what you do there. Okay,
Absolutely.
back on
Thanks, Mike.
track. Greg, you just kind of went, didn't you? Everybody moved around a little bit. I'm going to skip around. I'm going to go down here to Daniel Feldman because I can't have him falling asleep on me. He looks like he's out there in nature. Is that real?
Absolutely.
God, he's so relaxed. He looks like he's got the perfect fall background sitting out on his porch. I got to keep you entertained here, keep you engaged. Daniel, tell him what you do, baby.
Yeah, we deploy fractional PhD level engineers into businesses to build custom AI software based in data security, policy, and procedure. We've been building a lot of AI brains for companies, similar to what Dima showcased. I just put in the chat our AI readiness tool that we just deployed as well. And our CEO is the original engineer for facial recognition. So super high level stuff. But yeah, if anybody wants to talk anything AI related, we are happy to talk.
So he's the one that gave us the ability to not log in anymore. We just get to stare into our phones.
That's right.
But he's also the guy that when you go through the airport, you have to do the little picture every time. Yeah,
Yes.
I like the phone thing, bro, but I'm not sure if I'm into the whole every time through the airport. I mean, really? Didn't you do that last time?
Well, and remember, every time you get a speeding ticket or a ticket when you go through a stoplight that has a camera, that's our code that's powering that's able to recognize you.
That's wild. That's wild. So is this your link that you just popped in there? That's your latest and greatest?
Yes, that is an AI readiness tool. There's a lot of proprietary information that goes into it. 90 seconds, 7 questions, and it will tell you what your score is out of 100. And then obviously, if you scroll all the way down on the last page, you can actually look at what a AI brain for your business would look like and how everything is interconnected. And you can play around with it and start to look at all the different areas of your business where you could be able to optimize. The big thing that we talk about with people is just a paradigm shift. We believe that the way that AI was positioned to the general masses for the most part was wrong, because it was promoted as if you're working 40 hours a week, you can cut it down to 10, have an easy life, replace
That's
your
not how that
receptionist,
works.
reduce.
That's not how that works.
That's right. So what we talk about is if you're working 40 hours a week, we can show you how to get 80 hours worth of output for the same hours. And we focus in on KPIs around profitability, productivity, multiplier effects, and then most importantly, the ratio of headcount to revenue.
Do you know how to tell when somebody has gone down the AI rabbit hole? Does anybody put it in the chat or raise your hand? Give me your answer. You're like, oh, that you could just tell they went down the rabbit hole. Does anybody know? It's super easy. Yeah, you don't hear from them anymore. Literally, they're like, I can't talk to you right now. I'm busy. It's crazy. you know, who was I talking to? Oh, Tucker. Tucker's like, my wife is like, come to bed. And it's, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm working on something. I feel like it's, everybody figured out coding or something, and they're all building their stuff. It's wild. But I think you're doing great. This here reminds me of something, that assessment app. There's scoreapp.com where people can build this stuff for like their own companies and surveys and whatever. So I do like what you have there, where they can go through and create their readiness. And every single one of you should do this. I'm going to tell you, how many questions is it?
7.
7 questions.
Less
One
than
of
90.
those 7, if not all of those 7, are probably going to teach you something just from what he asked you, right? Daniel doesn't talk a lot, but when he does, he asks all the right questions, and he just asked you 7 of them right there. Click the link. All right, Imran, watch this, guys. I'm going to turn it on Imran. Imran, tell us what you do, baby.
So my name is Imran Rahman. I'm the organizational strategist at Board of Advisors, and I get to work directly with Mike, and I get to serve all of y'all to make sure that we get you the resources, the connections, the conversations that you need when you need them. So I'm here to facilitate y'all, and this is a lot of fun doing the live stream here together. So yeah, Mike, thanks for having me here.
Is that AI actually working right inside of your microphone as you speak?
I do have Claude going. I have to my left here a monitor with Grok and ChatGPT and Claude, and usually there are multiple Claude Code sessions going. It's incredible. I've been behind a computer for almost 15 years full time, and how I work has changed more in the last 6 months than it has in the last 6 years. I find myself primarily working out of Claude Code, and I'm having fun again. And it's all, of course, because of AI and everything that's
You have
happening.
all your friends
on
right
that
there
front.
with you in one room at all times.
Yes. Yeah. I got all kinds of apps open, all kinds of conversations. Things are popping.
We can actually tell because when you look at Imran on a Zoom, he's talking to you, but he's also checking. You can see
Yeah,
him
I'm doing
checking
this.
everything. So he's got like 6 screens there. All right, cool. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. Rashad, did you go yet?
Kind of, sort of. He just called on me randomly.
Just do it again. Do it real
All
quick.
right. So, Rashad Jones Jennings doing a master plan community in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Phase 1 is what most of you all know about is the tiny home community, but in totality, we're building 143 homes. We already acquired the properties, done all of the development work. Everything's already entitled, ready to go, and now just pushing forward to get the construction started on these deals. One last thing, we also stacked affordability for the buyers, trying to come out with the moniker for that instead of calling it an affordability stack. Right now, I'm thinking about equity in place because most of the time, in development, people get uprooted, but we're trying to educate the current residents on how to turn from renters into homeowners. So that's what the affordability stack is. And right now, we're calling it equity in place.
Equity in place. I like that. I
Instead
like
of
it.
displacement.
Well, no, Cheryl had her. Did your finger go up, Cheryl? Yeah. Did you? I like it, but I think it
It's a
might
good
need one
idea.
little. What do you think, Cheryl?
I think that it could be a great hook. So if you want to visit ever, just let me know.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I
she's
will.
amazing with words. Yeah.
Thanks, Cheryl.
So you said you're pushing forward, but you were a power forward.
Yeah, power forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that a little bit.
Oh yeah, I was just a a little bully on the court.
Does everybody know what a power forward is? It's
The
like
enforcer.
the guy that can kind of do it all, right? Like
Yeah.
you could handle the ball, but you could also get down in it with them in the box,
Right.
right?
Right. Doing all the dirty work, the intangibles, can't control the game without scoring necessarily. Yeah.
Yeah, you were the glue. Who did you play for again? Just tell everybody real quick.
So I had a brief stint with the Sixers. I played in Germany, France, Ukraine, all over Europe, Asia, and South America. So played in 22 different countries because I was playing year round when I did play.
How many years?
8 years total.
8 years total.
Yep.
So you're a true BA baller.
Oh yeah, hey, it's in my blood.
I like
Once
it.
an athlete,
We
you're
should get
always an
T-shirts
athlete.
that says BA baller. I love
Yeah.
it. Okay, guys, it is 4, ladies, gentlemen. It is 4. I've been kind of going. For some reason, the screen loves to just keep popping around on me. So, where's Bob? Bob Gilpatrick. I want you to go next, buddy. You're a founding BA member. You've been here for a decade, going on like 11 years now. Tell everybody really like what you do. What do you have? You told us about the latest product, and then let's leave everybody with a little wisdom. You know, you don't just happen to be somewhere 11 years. You know, maybe how do they get the most out of BA? Give them a little guidance before we jump off.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mike. Can you hear me
Where'd he
okay,
go?
Mike?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I have a nutritional supplement company. And as I was saying before, we have the world's first epigenetic reprogrammers, which is being researched. Billions of dollars are being pumped into research in this area. Most recently, they started treating humans for blindness with epigenetic reprogrammers. And we have 2 pills, different ones. One's called Myotrol, the other one's called Collagen. Collagen gives your body the ability to regrow cartilage, even if it's bone on bone. And it also has a powerful pain block in it for neuropathic pain. The other one is called Myotrol. It stimulates your ability to build muscle as if you were 20 years old, regardless of even if you're 100. It also increases your energy similarly and increases your ability to regenerate your brain, neurogenesis, synaptic genesis. And those you can get those on my website on boomerboost.com. Really valuable for older people that want to have a second chance at life. They might be home and homebound, bedbound, and we're helping restore people that age so they can get back to work and do things they always wanted to do before they got old and frail. And
oh, damn it.
In regard to the board of advisors, there's so many little nuances to it. So sometimes you make a connection with somebody that has a big dramatic impact on helping your business or helping you personally, or you being able to help them with their business or personally. But then sometimes the best things are surprising little things where you might get one little bit of advice or information, one introduction to somebody somewhere else in the country that turns out to be extremely valuable, things you would never have even known, never have thought of before, that come about because of the wide diversity of people in the board of advisors. And that's what we've seen over and over and over again. And I would always be very alert for the smallest nugget that you might get at one of the events or on a day like this that could make all the difference for you.
Yeah, I think you said that very well, because even right down to Greg Bird, I feel like Greg was kind of drinking from a fire hose at the meeting, and just flushing it out a little bit, even after the meeting had ended, and we were just so happened at the airport together, making the link to a few things and bringing clarity. Like when he thought the game was over, Greg, it was just beginning.
That's right.
No,
That's right.
but pushing through to the end and paying attention to the details and being alert, like you set the example for that, Bob. You're always in the room. You're always paying attention. You're investing in the other people in the room. You know, in Imran, I was paying attention to McDermott there. I was gonna grab him, but he jumped off.
Oh yeah.
So if he does jump back on, I'll let him go last, and then we got to wrap it up. But
got it.
I don't think he knew I was going to go to him. But Bob, you have set an example over the years, and the thing about it too is the more you work on your business and a lot of the kinks, after you start working some of the kinks out, they're just, the issues aren't as big, and the refinement process, you start working on polishing things. And I think getting bored with the business sometimes is evidence that you have created a well-oiled machine, because it's running. We've got to be really careful as owners and founders to not deviate or abandon the thing that is working and creating the value and the profitability for the organization to keep it healthy. Because if we're always kind of chasing the new idea and that's not built into our structure to support it, then you end up kind of cannibalizing yourself. So that, I think Lexus says it best, the relentless pursuit of perfection. And what they've done is they figured out how to make things better by removing and the simplification process right down to, I mean, even Tesla did a great job with their entire interface in their car. It's, literally almost buttonless or whatever. So pushing forward and becoming fascinated with the excellence and the simplification and becoming the best at the thing that you are doing better than anyone else, I think is wildly viable for, building a successful company and a team and a brand. Then it kind of starts to precede you in the marketplace. But Bob, thank you for that, man. That was dead on. Look, I want to acknowledge the team here. Jen David, I know you never hear from Jen, but she is always in the back office crushing it. She's running all the connections. She's putting together all the data. Her and Imran are, in a sense, the scientists behind the scenes to a degree, right along with Mr. Mike McCoy. He built the entire Board of Advisors platform and app, and he maintains all of it, make sure that it's all secure and working every time you go to log in. So Gabby and Dom, stick your head in here, buddy. You have Gabby on there. She's basically trying to keep up with Dom and I here in the office every day. It's a wild dynamic, but Dom has not only built, ladies and gentlemen, matter of fact, Dom, get in here. Give Dom some love. Dom worked with the contractors and I to build out the new headquarters, build out the studios. When I say build out, it was an empty box. If you guys want to draw, like if this was a box, that's it. It was empty. There was nothing in it. So from the kitchen to the owner suite to the boardroom area to the team area to the storage and the bathrooms and the studio and everything, he did all the dirty work with the contractors to make it come together based on what was in my head. And sometimes to be able to switch those gears and go, hey, I'm not going to be in front of the computer for 4, 5, 6 months. I'm going to be doing stuff that's not necessarily what you would think was Board of Advisors type of work. Is that's loyalty, right? So you've got a great team here. Gabby's always looking to facilitate the things that are just hitting my plate randomly and making sure that the members are able to get what they need. I just want you to know you have an amazing support system here. And thank you for jumping on today. It was not a really structured call, but we did get the tech ironed out, and it'll give us an asset on the live streams to be able to go back and pick apart, so that as we put these reoccurring, the idea is I want to get to where we're doing 3 of these a week where they have a different context. So one will be, for example, more about you guys bringing your challenges, your opportunities, your connections, and we're just kind of making sure you get exactly what you need as fast as humanly possible. And then some might actually be focused on more of trending topics that are in the marketplace, in the news, what is actually going on right now, whether it's from the finance side to the investment side to could be technology, crypto, AI. We'll be putting that stuff together for you as well, which I think it aligns with almost every member anyway. And then what is another one that we were thinking about doing, Imran?
We have a bunch of them lined up.
Well, I think we killed the mud wrestling one though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that one's done. But that could be a late night deal though,
Sure.
right?
Sure, absolutely.
No, and if you have any ideas on what you think might be most valuable, I think we could probably hit one Monday night, midday Wednesday, and then earlier. So we hit an evening on Monday, we hit a midday Wednesday, and then we hit a morning on Friday, where it gives everybody an opportunity from the different time zones, but it also gives everybody an opportunity from different contexts. And for me, it gives me the ability to compress the opportunity to go direct with you into, an hour or so per instance, and then I can really get hyper productive on the innovation and the time with the team. So if you have suggestions or ideas or desires that you think you might want kind of on that reoccurring weekly basis, feel free to just email team@boardofadvisors.com and we'll incorporate it into the plan. For me, man, I could sit back here and just freestyle and shoot the shit with you guys all day anyway. So I don't really need a plan, but I also want to create a way to attack and solve for some of the value that you're looking to achieve on a weekly basis. And then Imran, what are the dates for the upcoming event?
That is a great question. I will tell you that right now. Just bear with me so I tell you the right dates.
Well, I was just studying the dates for 2027, so I don't want to get them mixed up with
November 8th to the 13th.
8th, okay. 8th through the 13th. Look, that's our 11-year anniversary. It's going to be a banger. I'm going to have to put some people in some headlocks. Todd, we convinced Todd today. He doesn't need a headlock. He'll be there. But I want to go back. I want to grab some of the greatest alumni. We have some amazing prospects. I'm going to push hard for each one of the active members. And I think you guys are going to, I'm in talks with maybe even using a newly renovated area at the Ritz to change up the environment and the format into a 3-phase kind of rotating aspect. But, it's in kind of a molding, shaping aspect right now. But anyway, any ideas, anything you need, hit team@boardofadvisors.com. And then in the AI app and portal, if you want to connect with somebody, there's the request convo button right now, or you can go direct. But if you want help, just hit request convo and we'll help you out. We see all that stuff, so we'll help tee it up as a great introduction. Jen does all that. I see it too, so if I can add some stuff to it to make it better, I will. So guys, ladies, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here today. And Imran, when should we do the next one, just so we can tell them when to be here?
I think we should do it next Wednesday, a week from today, and we're going to make it more official, give you more of a heads up, and get more detailed, get into the weeds, get into the nitty gritty on the next one.
You got it. So that's actually a good idea, because I'm out of the office on Monday, and then I'm out of the office again on Friday, so I would miss that. Just sometimes I have to go into the field, guys. I call it the wild. I got to go out into the wild. I got to go out into people's backyards, and I got to get into their pools, and I got to show them how it's done. But
excellent.
And then maybe the following week we can get on the three-part rotation and just fire this thing up.
That sounds amazing. Let's do it. And great work today. And like David Darnell said, that was a classic right at the beginning, where you tied everyone in how they could add value to Todd. So that was awesome.
It was like
Great
a big,
work
beautiful
today.
bow right on top of Todd.
It was
right?
cool. Totally,
Todd
yes.
was a gift. You didn't even know it. Todd was a gift, and he didn't even know it.
What an honor to be here. Holy cow.
All right, guys, go get it.
Awesome.
Get back to work.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you soon.
Appreciate all of you.
See ya.
Thank you
Sure,
very
I'm going
much.
to reach out to you. I have a question for you around the best way to do a press release around something.
Perfect person to talk to.
Good job, Richard.
Hey, Mike, where's your new place?
Bob, you got to drop by. You're a local.
Where are you?
Oh, it's right here on Park Boulevard, 8100.
8100. Okay.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
but bro, I should just give you a key.
That would be cool.
Good. I'll give you a call before I
Thanks,
come
Todd.
sometime. Make sure you're there.
You got it, brother. See you
Okay,
guys.
man.
Great to see
Thanks
you,
a lot
Bob.
Thanks for today.
Thank you. See ya.
Good job, dudes.
Awesome work, team. We can end this. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Great work today. Thank you again.